All right, let's talk about a piece of Japanese grammar that trips up pretty much everyone at some point, the te-iru form. Now, you probably learned it means ing, like an action in progress, but what if I told you that's only half the story? Seriously, understanding the other half is going to change everything.
Okay, let's dive right into the heart of what makes this so confusing. I like to call it the te-iru puzzle. So your teacher probably told you te-iru is just like adding ing in English. I am eating, I am reading, simple stuff. But if that's the only rule we have, what in the world do we do with a sentence like this? 結婚しています? I mean, if we stick to that ing rule, this has to mean someone is in the middle of getting married, which, okay, might make sense for the few minutes they're actually saying I do, but what about the next day or a year later? It just doesn't work, right? It sounds kind of ridiculous. So what are we missing here?
And that brings us to the big reveal, the secret piece of the puzzle. It turns out, te-iru isn't just about actions happening now. It's also used to talk about the result of a change that's already happened.
Let's break that down. This other meaning of te-iru isn't about an ongoing action. It's about something that already changed, and now you're living in the state that was left behind. Think of it as a resultant state. The change is over, but the result is still here. Now, here's the key. This whole resultant state idea only works with a special group of verbs we can call change verbs. These are words that describe a shift from one state to another, like getting married, gaining weight, or moving. They all pinpoint a moment of transformation. Okay, so you might be thinking, great, a whole new grammar rule to memorize. But here's the best part. You actually already know how to make this form. It's super, super easy.
Seriously, the way you build it is exactly the same as the ing form you already know and love. You just grab your verb, flip it into its te form, and tack on imasu at the end. That's it. Nothing new to learn here.
So our example verb, 結婚する, to marry, becomes 結婚しています. The mechanics are identical. The real trick isn't about how you say it, it's about understanding which type of verb you're using.
And this right here, this is the most crucial part of this whole thing. If you get this one idea, state versus action, you've totally cracked it.
You see, the meaning of te-iru flips completely depending on the verb it's attached to. The verb itself is like a switch that tells your brain whether you're talking about an action in progress or a state that's the result of a past change. And here it is, the perfect comparison. Look at this. On the left, with a change verb like 結婚する, we get the resulting state, is married. But on the right, with a regular action verb like 食べる, we get the action in progress, is eating. It's the exact same grammar, te imasu, but the verb type just completely changes the meaning. That is the entire secret.
Okay, that's enough theory. Let's look at how this actually plays out in some real sentences that you're going to hear and use.
So let's go back to the sentence that started this whole mess. Yamashita sensei wa 結婚しています. We know now it doesn't mean he's standing at the altar. It means Professor Yamashita is married.
So let's trace the logic. Step 1, the change. Sometime in the past, he got married. That action is finished. Step 2, the result. Now, the state of being married continues on. See how that works?
Here's another one you'll hear all the time. Sora-san wa たくさんお金を持っています. This means Sora has a lot of money.
So what was the change? At some point, Sora got the money. Maybe she earned it, maybe she found it. The point is, that happened. And the result? She now continues to have or hold that money. The action of getting it is over, but the result, having it, continues.
How about a physical description? Let's say, トムさんは少し太っています. This translates to, Tom is a little overweight.
Right? It doesn't mean he's actively gaining weight in this exact moment. The change, the process of gaining weight, happened over time in the past, and the result is his current physical state.
Now for a really, really common one. You will use this all the time to say where someone lives. 私の兄は東京に住んでいます, which means, my older brother lives in Tokyo.
So, what was the original change? He moved to Tokyo. That was a specific event. And what's the lasting result of that move? Well, he continues to live there now. This is why you always use this resultant state form to say where someone lives.
And for our last example, let's look at something that's more a mental state. Meari san wa Aya san o shitteimasu. This simply means Mary knows Aya.
This is a perfect example because, you can't be in the middle of knowing someone, can you? The change was the moment Mary met Aya or learned about her. The result is the continuous state of knowing who she is today.
All right, we've covered the theory, we've walked through a bunch of examples. Now it's your turn to put this into action.
Look, if you only remember one thing from all of this, let it be this. Whenever you see te-iru with one of these change verbs, just ask yourself one simple question. What is the lasting result of that change? That one little question will give you the correct meaning every single time.
So I'll leave you with a little challenge. Using everything we just went over, how would you say, I know that person? The verb you need is shiru. So think about it. What's the change? What's the result? And how do you put that together? Give it a shot, and you'll have officially unlocked the other super useful meaning of te-iru.